everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talking Elite Fitness. I'm just going to dive right in with a dad joke.
Sean saying howdy. That really threw me off.
Let's settle up, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland, being joined remotely by Lauren Khalil and Tommy Marquez, who are in Fort Worth, Texas. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing, a little tired this morning, but we're having
a busy day yesterday.
We did. We're having a nice fireside coffee chat,
Fantastic.
It's great.
Yeah, it's 9 a.m. your time, 7 a.m. my time. So
it's great, nice and early.
We're going to get this thing out of the way because games start tomorrow, and there's some things that have happened. But first, we want to thank our presenting sponsor for today, and that is Garmin. Garmin is the best wearable on the market. They have the Epix Pro model, which is, if you're a CrossFit athlete looking to track your performance, is probably ideal for you. They have all kinds of great stuff. The battery life is incredible. It's like 16 days in smartwatch mode. You can get emails, calls, texts, and alerts with your iPhone or your Android. You get a training readiness score each day, training status, so you get insights and know whether you're training productively, you're peaking, or you're strained. You get performance metrics. Recovery time tells you how long you think you're going to need to recover to get back to peak training. So much good stuff in there, and it's like I've only scratched the surface with this thing. It is incredible how much it can do, and I know the two of you sort of used it yesterday on your little,
we scratched many surfaces.
First of all, Tommy, where do you get off running a 5-minute, 40-second mile?
Isn't that annoying?
This is what annoys me about Tommy, honestly, is that he's good at everything, and he has that ability to just roll off the bus with
literally, Sean,
no nutrition, and put up some of his best performances ever. And I wish I had that level of athleticism.
Oh man, you're too kind. So basically, you're saying is I'm lazy, and
I'm not saying that at all.
You're lazy, but you still perform at the highest level.
When the chips are down, and you think like, "Oh man, I don't know, this guy hasn't had a lot of sleep." Put Tommy in the game.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't have been able to do it without my Garmin Epix Pro because one thing that I love when I'm running, particularly doing time trials, is knowing my pace, managing heart rate in between as I go with each lap, and with the run function on there, it allows me to monitor both pretty easily. Other wearables, you'd have to check your phone or anything like that. Bring something along with you. Pretty seamless. Lauren was able to do it too. We
did the Farrington Field Mile for people who haven't seen.
Yeah.
It's on our Instagram.
It's on our IG. Like you scaled that appropriately.
Yeah. So Thank you. I ran the mile. Lauren ran 3, and we
not 3 miles, 3 laps.
3 laps. Yeah. So we wanted to see what we hit. We on our post. We have our max heart rate, average heart rate. No. Spoiler alert, there's a difference between me and Lauren.
I want to know if you can see the colors.
No.
Come on, Lauren. There we go. Do you see how much red is in there?
There's a lot of red.
That's a lot of red.
And there's, I don't know.
Tommy's got a lot of green.
Green and yellow in mine.
He's a runner, that's why.
But yes, but that's honestly just like Sean said, scraping the surface. I get all the data back on my heart rate zones, on max and average heart rate on the run, keeping my pace accordingly. That's one of the reasons why I was able to actually beat my pace is when between lap 2 and 3, I looked down and realized I had built a little bit of a buffer, and the darkness was creeping in, and so I had to adjust accordingly. But I mean, that's not it. Like we talked. This is continuing our conversation about Garmin, but I use that for running, golfing, CrossFit, all of it. You can track it all, and it's pretty easy. I love the round counter too that they have on it on their hit function. So a ton of cool stuff. But yeah, we definitely went for it last night, and I cannot stress this enough. We were working and shooting all day, running around, and we literally looked at each other and were like, let's go do this. We went over to the field, got onto the field, and the time between when we set our stuff down and when we started the first mile,
maybe 5 minutes.
Maybe.
Wow.
There was literally little to no warm.
My warm up was a handful of Sour Patch watermelon.
Yep.
I jogged down the straightaway to the 100 meters and jogged back. And before my heart rate could get back below 120, Lauren's like, "You ready?" It's like,
It's like,
all
give me
right,
a moment.
all right, yeah, let's do this. But
Nice.
yeah, so
Well, I'm
it
glad
was,
you guys did that. It's a cool way to show
Yeah.
off the features of the Garmin. If you guys are interested in checking it out, Garmin.com. Check out the Epix Pro. That's the model that they're recommending for CrossFitters. But if that doesn't do it for you, there's plenty of other stuff on there as well. And here's a good thing about it: one-time charge. There's no subscription fee.
Mhm.
That is
Yep.
always yours. So, big thanks to the people at Garmin for partnering up with us these past few months. They've been absolutely great. Before we get into just the stuff that's happened, I wanted new venue, new city. It's only been a day, and I know you guys were mostly in one place.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what's it like there? What's the atmosphere like?
Oof. I've been to the venue. I don't think Lauren has fully yet because we
Nope.
I picked her up from the airport and we went straight into a shoot.
Mhm.
The venue is impressive. I will say this. Uh, I know some people are kind of griping about how Vendor Village is detached from that. I can't speak to that yet.
Mhm.
And I don't think most people will be too upset at the walk and the layout. Dickies Arena is awesome. It is a professional
It
venue. It
looks
is massive. It is beautiful. Um, even just like walking around during the day, I was like, this is super cool the way they have it set up. Um, and then Farrington Field is super close. You can walk to it, so everybody like that was spot on. I think people are going to really enjoy the professionalism of that venue in particular,
oh,
and and
that was
yeah,
messed
that's just kind of my initial instinct. I have some more thoughts. I think the Friday Night Lights event is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I do too. And it was one of those things where we talk about this all the time. You see it on paper and you can't really envision it being exciting and hype, but just the hype that only Tommy and me and nobody else at this venue had. And it really did give you like a college football, high school football feel
Cool.
that I think is going to be unique for the
And
games.
there's something magical about it. I'll definitely I can definitely speak to that a little bit more later. But um, if the fans show up and we pack this place out, it's
Mhm.
going to be awesome.
Yeah, I
Agreed.
think
Just
so.
yeah,
Because
because
we haven't been under the lights since Carson, right?
yeah, outside at night we haven't
No,
done
because
since Carson.
Northfield I don't think had
I
lights.
don't think they did.
No,
No,
Everything
they
was
did.
in
I
the
think they
casino.
did. Did they have lights? I'm pretty sure they did.
they did, but I
But
don't think.
every night thing was in the
Yeah, but
Coliseum.
we didn't use it. We
Yep.
didn't use them, and
Yeah.
then I don't think. And this is individuals and teams, right? Morgan Hill, I don't think they did anything at night,
No.
and yeah, so you'd have to go back to the tennis stadium in
Mhm.
2015. The last 2015, the last no 2016. The
Yeah.
last event under the lights would have been Saturday night. So yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
it's been 9 seasons since.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
So yeah, it'll be cool for sure. If you're getting in on Friday and you're thinking about, oh, should I go directly to there? Because I know some people with flights, everything like that. By the way, we both made it in all right. A ton of people are
No
experiencing,
delays or cancellations
yeah,
for us.
Oh, nice.
a ton of delays and
Crazy.
cancellations for people coming from the East Coast
I saw
because of the
Danny
storm.
Spiegel just got in yesterday
Yeah,
coming from Cali.
so knock on wood, hopefully all the athletes, fans can get in safely. If you're thinking about it, like, oh, should we just drop our bags and go right to it? Go to it. It's going to be
Mhm.
fun. It's going to be super cool. And I have some details on that later for sure.
Yeah, well, we'll do this a little out of order than what we intended because some news has come out. But let's all right, that's the audio from the thing that I'm about to show here. Uh we'll we will
I can't hear it.
yeah, sorry, good. I'm glad it didn't come through. Okay, the details
Mhm.
for the Friday Night Lights event did come out. So we're gonna have a 1600-meter run, you're gonna rest, and then there's a field sprint. Now, what I think is uh they're going to run two heats because if you're looking at the video, the demo video that the game's Instagram posted, there are 20 lane markers out there. 18, 19, 20. So they're going to
Mhm.
probably have two heats of 20 go. Dave, I believe, said that there's going to be a 12-minute cap on the mile. And then right at that 12 minutes, the sprint starts.
Yep. And that's on the game site now too.
Okay, cool. So it's a
Yeah.
1,600-meter run, then 50-yard sprint, 50-yard bag carry, 75-yard sprint, 75-yard bag carry, 100-yard sprint. So this is a lot like that sprint carry from 2014, where they had the bag, like that bag of dog food. They had that pill thing that Tommy
Yep.
Hackenberg spiked, and there was a third thing that I can't remember. There were three things, right, Tommy? In that,
Yeah, yeah, there was like a bag, a pill, and they might have had a sprint sled, I think. No, the sprint sleds were different. They had those were their own 50-point events. But yeah, there was an additional, I can't remember off the top of my head.
yeah,
We were just talking about yesterday. But if you want to get hyped up, go back and look at the 2014 highlights video from that year.
yes,
They got the Tommy Hackenbrook spike in there.
mhm,
When he demolished that event, threw down the pill, and just like let it rip.
that was awesome.
Um, I mean, that if that doesn't take you from 6 to midnight, I don't know what will.
Well, I don't. So my question with this is now, this is listed as one event. So is the mile just a buy-in to tire you out now for the sprint, and that's where you're getting scored,
I
or
hope not.
are these two separate scores? Because right now on the schedule, I think there's 11 events, so that would make this 12 scores if you had a time for your mile, and then you had a time for um, your sprint carry.
I,
Now, the way, just one more thing, the way that if they're going to run 20 people on a track, some people, and this is always a thing, and I don't know how severe it's going to be, but some people are going to run farther than others.
a little bit, but
A little bit, not,
that'll be by choice, right? So
yeah,
like the distance within the first two lanes, while it's different, I think it's negligible enough to where
yeah,
it's an allowable variance, right?
yeah,
So, personal thought, I think they have to make the mile a separate scored event.
great.
Otherwise, it's too heavily weighted towards the mile in the first place, which kind of makes the sprint irrelevant. Um, I
I can't imagine that they would not have them as two separate scores, especially because the mile is something that,
Yeah,
like we've talked so much about, people can compare it to, and it's a cool benchmark to have. And if it doesn't really matter because it's a buy-in, you're not going to get that hype and fanfare that you would otherwise.
Yeah,
agreed. I don't think I'm with you. I'd be shocked if this isn't two separately scored events.
yeah, and even with the lane setup, right? Like think back to we just had the Olympics as a great example. They had 12-person heats for the 1500,
Hmm.
and this is at the Olympics, right? Like
Mhm.
they're trying to be um, swimming in
As accurate as possible.
swimming in the Seine River aside,
Yeah,
they want to be much more precise and accurate. And um, they had 12-person heats for their qualifying rounds, and athletes had no issue going 3 to 4 wide.
Mm.
And I think if you stack it, I'm sure they'll get briefed. If you stack it based on seating at the time, then there's a merit there's an element of meritocracy to how you line them up,
yeah,
and I think that makes it much more palatable
Yeah.
from that regard. And once the pack starts to spread and you're looking at 3 to 4, like you can pass someone on a straightaway when you widen out and negate some of the effort that goes into passing and going wide versus on the turn.
sure,
Um, so yeah, there will be some way to navigate that, and obviously people will spread out. And pe- obviously you look at a time on a leaderboard. 7 seconds seems like not a ton for a 7-minute event, right? But on a track,
Yeah.
that's forever.
yeah.
So there'll be plenty of space, I think.
And yeah, people space or every time there's a run of this length, it's people space out. This is like they're not doing a 400 here where it's going to get really
Yep.
really crowded. So that was the first thing that happened. The next thing is that we know another event, and that is for the third time we're going to get a version of Amanda at the CrossFit Games. So the first time that they were in Carson, they did regular Amanda. And if you go to the game site again on Instagram, you can see the video of that. I think this is where Jason Khalipa nearly killed a camera person with a barbell.
Yes, he almost killed the camera jib. I was standing right behind it.
Did he kick it?
This no, oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
This
What
is
happened?
this is my first ever CrossFit Games. I was helping out. I was volunteering with Rogue. Jason Khalipa. They had all the athletes facing outwardly, like you can see with Spieler in that clip.
Yeah.
Jason Khalipa was hammering the event, and Icarus's style, the style of Icarus, kind of flew a little too close to the sun, and then just stanky leg walked his way
Oh
all the way towards,
no.
and he was going right at the camera jib, and he's like walking the bar forward and like ditches the bar last second and saves throwing it through the camera jib.
Yes.
It,
Those
I,
things are expensive.
That's
I,
not cheap.
That would have been
I would not
a
have
ton.
blamed the camera guy if he needed a cleanup on aisle 3 for
Yeah.
what happened, seeing that gorilla of a man running at him with
I
a
would have
barbell.
aborted.
Man,
Yeah,
I ran into him yesterday, and the guy, he still looks like he could get
he's
out there and compete.
he's just a
beast.
he is.
Yeah.
I love this. I actually very much like this choice.
Yeah, I do too.
It fits thematically. It fits, I think, from a testing perspective. So Amanda was the very first event in the StubHub Center when they changed venues. Then in a si- in a
Oh.
s- and then in a similar
Yep.
theme, it was the very
Mhm.
first Coliseum event at Madison when we moved in 2017. Now, it's slated as event 3, so it won't be the first event here, but it will be on the first day. So kind of
I
tying
like
into
that
the
still.
first, yeah. And from a testing perspective, there are not a lot of athletes in the field that did this back in 2017.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are a significant amount of athletes that will be either doing this in competition for the first time, or maybe even just testing it for the first time because they've done some variation of Amanda at some point, but maybe not quite this. They called it 45 because the original Amanda was 975.
Mhm.
They added 11 and 13 back in 2017 to make it 45 reps too. Of course, I believe this might have been the first female hero workout after Amanda Miller,
Yeah.
2009 Games qualifier at the ranch, who unfortunately passed away. I believe it was due to cancer, but don't quote me on that. I don't want to get that wrong. But she was, a beloved figure in the community back then, and that was the way to honor her because she passed away in between the 2009 and 2010 games.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you look at the leaderboard, I think there's only 4 men in the top 25. If you look at the results from there, and then you look at the top 25
Yeah.
men, only 4 men are returning to the games. And I think only 2 or 3 women in the top 30 are returning
Wow.
from those results. So huge turnover from those day and ages.
Mhm.
And so that's why I think it's also an appropriate test, right? To see where, a nice check-in to see
Yeah.
where it was. I don't know if it is equidistant too, right? So you had 2010, 2017, 2024. So you
Yeah.
had these 7-year jumps.
Oh.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I love about this is that I believe, unless they're throwing in another event, that this is going to be in the ESPN window on Thursday night. And this has
Oh,
everything.
CrossFit just posted their windows.
I think they're ESPN windows 7 to 9 Eastern
At 7 to
on
9 Eastern on
on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yep.
Yep.
This is exactly the kind of thing that you want on national television.
Yeah, I
It
would
is
agree.
observable, measurable, repeatable. You get to talk about that.
And it's fast.
It's not a slow event. It has, 2 core CrossFit movements in it. You get to talk about your history. You get to compare times. You get to really show a viewing audience not only what the sport is about, but what happens in the gym on a daily basis.
Yep.
I love this for being the opening event on ESPN because there are so many good opportunities for storytelling, not only from an athlete perspective, comparing times, but also history. How this is the 3rd time now that we've done it. You can show 2010 when the first time, you can show 2017. You get to see a nice progression of the sport, and it really does a good job of educating viewers, especially new ones, and even I think some old ones
Yeah.
who haven't seen footage of Austin Malialo wearing the all white compression. Jason Khalipa, or how there were like no lanes, or you keep your barbell like here, or it's a no rep. Like you can go anywhere you wanted on the floor. I was like,
oh man.
how much the sport has evolved. So I think this is a big win from a broadcast standpoint, and I love the fact that they're bringing a repeat event back and they're showing it on national television. So
Yeah.
Yeah, big win.
could not have been timed better.
And there's subtle tiebacks to what I think is quintessential CrossFit that, like you mentioned, for some of the OGs, right? Like, what would you say is the most, when people think of like the quintessential CrossFit benchmark? What would you say?
Fran.
Yep, weightlifting, gymnastics couplet.
Yep.
What do we got here?
Yeah.
weightlifting, gymnastics couplet. There's that like those little things are the nuggets that you can drop in from a storytelling perspective.
Yep.
That I think the people tuning into ESPN from home that are already fans will love, and will also highlight the stuff like you mentioned for the newcomers, because there's an air of this is what I love about Amanda and why I think it was such a brilliant test at the time. Muscle ups, not necessarily the most approachable thing for people to watch, but if you look at a 135-pound barbell, a lot of people look at, oh, that's just a set of 45s on either side. Just about every gym goer in the world at some point has that weight as a reference point, whether it's your bench,
Yeah, that's what I was
whether it's
thinking.
your squat, whether it's your deadlift, whether it's your whatever. And now we are adding complexity to it, to the common viewer, right? Because the average gym goer does bench, squat, deadlift, maybe press, but they're not doing a full snatch. And so I just love that.
Yeah, I think it's a great choice, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they present it on television. Well, we have another event that got released as well, and Dave Castro, typing like he talks, released this on his Instagram, and it was just a IE4, and he goes on to type this thing out. Starts with 50 deadlifts, 5 rope climbs. It's a huge chipper. 50 ski erg calories on the ski erg, 5 rope climb. I'm reading this. It goes 50 GHD sit up, 5 rope climb.
Oh my gosh. Well, and
50. He puts 4 time and then he spaces down. Then 50 GHD sit-ups. And then you go back. 50 GHD sit-ups, 50 ski erg, 50 deadlift. And I think the weight is like 225 on the deadlift. It's nothing terrible, but 50 times. I mean, that ain't fun.
It'll add up.
Yeah. 5 rope climbs. So this one is going to be done. This would be the first one, I believe, on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 events each day, except for Sunday. It looks like there's 2. 11 total.
Yeah. So this looks like, now maybe I don't know, maybe they try to, no, because the schedule's already out. So yeah, this I believe is the first one Friday morning. So there you have it. 50s and 5s. Whole lot of work there. So we now know that what the chipper is going to be. So
and he started to type something else out, right?
Well, he put 50, he put TRI, and then
because
everybody's been predicting triple unders.
I don't know if that was on purpose. Probably was.
And we were talking this is I just pulled it up on my phone, but because that is what's been going around. We talked to some athletes yesterday. That has been the rumor that's been going around, that something maybe got sneakily leaked. And everyone's saying that oh, that's coming. I've had so many people come up to me and be like, yo, can you still do triple unders? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, because everyone's saying we're going to do them this year.
What if they called you up to do a demo on the demo team?
Oh my gosh.
He could do it. Just make sure he's sleep deprived and hasn't had any.
Hasn't eaten, only has had watermelon gummies.
So, oh my gosh. So naturally everyone has been looking up triple unders on YouTube,
and they find Tommy Marquez.
And they find that video that we made with Marston from 11 years ago.
Is that how long ago it was?
11 years ago. It got posted on.
Do you have it pulled up?
March of 2013.
I'm gonna right now.
Okay, yeah, we got to show the people.
So just a little preface on this. They were going to. I think I maybe have said this on the show before. They were going to publish triple unders on the workout of the day in March. And people were complaining and whining about
CrossFitters complaining what?
about nobody can do this. This isn't an attainable skill. So maybe a month earlier, Marston and I and some of the other people at the HQ gym were practicing that.
And you're like, hold my beer.
And I know how to do them. And so Marston and Leif Edmondson, who used to run publishing side on and running.com, came up to me in our desk back, because that was when we were all in out in the open. Yep. And they were like, you can do triple unders, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you have some cool shoes? I was like, yeah, I have a pair of pumps with you. They're like, grab your pumps, grab your rope, meet me out by the Connex box.
There it is. Now people are gonna, if you're watching this, People would be like, "Oh, that's a weight on the bottom of the rope." Now that was not true. Tommy's rope was framed; it was just tape.
Yep.
Look at that! Look at that!
Oh, what a
Young
stud, Tommy.
Oh gosh.
In the pumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my rogue rope had frayed, so I just put a little piece of gaff tape on it.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
thought it was a weight for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's
Like
not.
a little ball weight. Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I just didn't want to cut myself.
342,000 views on this. Tommy.
This is how you got your start, Tommy.
I guess,
That's
yeah.
outstanding.
All told, that shoot took 15 minutes. It was literally walk on, rip some triple unders, walk off, and that was it.
Well, then that's the back in the day where it was like every day something was getting cranked out. Some piece of content was getting cranked out and put on the channel.
And that was the beauty of having everyone in one space, right?
Yeah.
Like we could do something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good
Anyway,
times.
that's Tommy doing triple unders. If you're just listening.
So if you need a tutorial.
I had 4 athletes in a row ask me about it yesterday.
Of course they did.
Yep.
Of course they did. So that's the chipper.
I just looked at the top comment. I was happy that I finally did my first double under a few days ago, and then I stumbled upon this vid and discovered triple unders exist. I feel like Charlie Brown missing the football.
Oh, that's good.
Oh
That's
man.
really good.
Okay, well, before we get into a couple other things, we want to thank another one of our sponsors for today, and that is Thirdsy, the PM Recovery Collagen drink that is guaranteed to help you enhance your sleep and your recovery. It has ingredients like magnesium, L-theanine, and GABA. Those help calm your central nervous system and support deep and REM sleep. I know the two of you brought yours on the road, and I certainly took mine last night because I know we got a busy week coming up. I want to optimize my sleep because we all know that a good high-quality rest is as vital to your performance as consistent workouts and nutrition. So to get the benefits from your training, your body has to repair itself and rebuild, and Thirdsy makes that easier. You can go to thirdsy.com, use the code TEF, and you will save 20%, and you will sleep and recover better.
Tommy and I brought our travel packs. We have it. It's literally
right
on the
over here.
counter waiting for us. We didn't take it last night, and that was a big mistake, but I also knew we didn't get that much.
No, we did not. We got to bed late last night, so
we weren't going to be able to get the bang for the buck, but tonight you better believe it.
And with the travel packs,
and that's why Thirdsy is so good. Like, it will help you optimize the sleep that you do get.
yes.
We should have taken
I
it.
know weird
Dang it.
oversight, but
Yeah.
well, you can take out the middleman too with the travel packs. You can just rip the top off and
Pre-workout it.
yeah.
That'll
scoop.
do.
You can use it like wet your finger. Use it like adult fun dip.
That should be our post tonight.
Oh,
Store that.
okay. All right.
Tommy's getting real creative with
He
social.
is. It's been fun to watch. So yeah, Thirdsy.com. We're huge fans. Use the code TEF, and you will save 20%. So one other thing that happened is that we now have the details on the clean ladder weights.
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn Lambrey predicted it on Death by.
I really thought
It was her.
that someone nailed it. So
She did.
the video that they're showing is Annika Greer, who is a member of the
Demo team.
Yeah, so she's going through this. So round one for the women, 165 to 205, and the rep scheme is 3, 2, and then 3 singles. So 3 at 165, 1 at 170. Sorry, 2 at 175, and then 1 at 185, 195, and 205. For the men, it's 255, 265, 275, 285, 295. Round two for the women starts on the last barbell from round one. So 205 goes all the way up to 230. Men, they start at 295, goes up to 325. And then round three, this is where it gets spicy. This is only 10 athletes are going to go through this. And it's just 1 rep at each bar. Women will do 230, 240, 250. Men, 325, 345, 365. Now, again, this is an elimination style event where you start with 30 athletes, because this is going to take place after the cut. 30 down to 20,
Chad too.
down to your final 10. Yeah, so legs are going to be a little wonky here, but yeah, as I was looking at this, I go, I think someone on Death by nailed this.
Carolyn
Yeah,
crushed it.
Yep.
She knew, and she made really good points about it too, saying that was probably a weight that you might see some athletes fail or lift too early, but it's not a weight that you're going to see half the field staring at the barbell and not be able to lift it, because
Yeah.
that wouldn't be great either.
Yeah.
Is this one in the ESPN window too? Because I think the ESPN window on Saturday is earlier.
I have it pulled up.
Yeah,
What
this would
time
be-
is this one at?
It's event 8.
Yeah, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday is our
And then
window,
that's
Eastern.
probably after Chad when this is going to go. So that I hope this is the one that's in the ESPN window, because this is another
Yes.
great. This is a fan. It's very easy to tell if you're someone who's never seen this before.
And what I'm sorry, what event did they say this was going to be? 6?
This is individual 8. Clean
8.
ladder.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
so maybe not. Maybe whatever 7 is going to be in there.
Oh, TBD.
On Saturday, what is it? 2 to
7,
4?
right?
2 to 4, so that's 1 to 3 our time. Hold on, I have it in my calendar. 1 to 3. What day did I say that was?
Saturday.
So Saturday, our window, event 5 is 4:15 to 5:40. No, sorry, that's wrong day. 1 to 3 is the clean ladder. Yep. So that's 2 to 4 Eastern. Yep, that's
Yep,
the one that's
cool.
on ESPN.
Awesome.
Event 8.
That is
Yeah,
right
Chad
where,
is 7.
that's right where we want to be.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, with these ESPN windows. I
Yeah,
think this is excellent.
And
This is the best news we've heard.
I think this is awesome. And I think too, we were a little skeptical when the Friday Night Light thing was announced, and it was just going to be running before we had any details, and that's going to be on ESPN.
And before we
on
did
Friday night. Now, and before you did it, before we see the atmosphere. So hopefully that's going to be, and I think anytime you get like these close races, that you had the potential to have something really cool here. And I think another thing that we need to realize is that if you're going to do 2 heats, this is going back to Friday night, 2 heats of 20 athletes, 15 minutes each ish. That's a little more than an hour of live competition. So you have another hour in there that you need to fill of highlights, or you can show others. Like there's an opportunity to really do some good storytelling and show some good content
Yeah.
in that time. So that helps temper that as well. But so far, 2 of the 3 ESPN windows I know for sure are going to be great and show like really cool CrossFit. And then
Yeah.
Friday will be awesome as well when you get that down and back sprint. That's a long way to run.
And typically this is a nice tie back for what is usually in the ESPN window is a strength event.
Yeah.
And usually if they do it right, there's packages in commentary around the history of testing strength at the CrossFit Games and how testing strength takes a multitude of forms, right? I remember one of my favorite segments that we did for CBS back in the day was 2022 and the sandbag, and the way we talked about that, and just how in most people view strength as this, right? From a training perspective, CrossFit views strength. Geez, I can't talk. As this, because we bridge the gap between, all right, what do you do in the gym and how do we apply it outwardly? And that was the tie-in for the sandbag, right? Like this is a bag of concrete. It's picking up an awkward object, in your house when you're moving, and you have to take these principles and apply them outwardly. So this is a very different version of that, and it's adding a speed and a time component to it, which I think is super cool. And that's always one of the cool storytelling pieces that you can do, especially coming off of the heels of the Olympics closing up this weekend and the weightlifting events taking place right now. So this is how you differentiate between traditional weightlifting, add a time component, a little bit more what we do in CrossFit.
Yeah. So I think that's all that has been released. Now, of course, the athletes are doing other check-in photos, so we're getting a good look at all the
Yep, the uniforms are posted if you go to athletes' Instagram, so you can see, their picture with all of their uniforms on their bed, and they've got cowboy hats, which is cool. Those photos are super fun.
They confirmed that it's a 3.5 mile run on Lake Day.
3.5
okay.
Yeah, it's on the website. 3.5 mile run,
Cool.
800 meter swim.
So we were talking earlier about how you guys had to go right to a shoot. You were able to take part in the tier athlete check-in, and depending on when you're listening or to this or watching this, you can go to our YouTube channel. We're going to have 2 shows available. One where we sort of help them introduce their new colorway. We talked to Jason Hopper, Alexis Raptis. We got a cool little runway walk off.
Oh.
Tommy and Lauren were there. It's a lot of fun. You can check that out. And then we're gonna have a live show also Wednesday afternoon-ish. Time TBD right now as we're sitting here talking. That's something we're gonna figure out. But that'll be available on our YouTube channel, and it'll be athletes wandering through and talking to them, and that'll be a lot of fun. And then throughout the week, we'll have coverage on our YouTube channel, Instagram. We'll be doing some fun stuff. And make sure that if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you do, and you hit that notifications button, because we'll have a lot of content coming there. And then also on our Instagram pages, we'll have highlights, we'll have of events, we'll have interviews from behind the scenes, and we'll have nightly recaps and some other stuff that I think we're working on. So a lot of things.
And sorry to cut you off. If you are going to be in Texas, stay on the lookout, because Tommy and I are going to be getting fans involved with some moments of the day,
Yes.
some giveaways in person. So if you're here, you definitely want to put the notifications on for our Instagram channel to stay up to date with what we're doing.
No
Lauren
doubt.
will be
Yeah.
easy to find. She'll be wearing the pink cowboy boots.
That is true. That is true. Tommy brought his too. His aren't pink, but that's okay.
No, mine are the same.
Are they the big ostrich ones? Please tell me they're the big ostrich.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh, just the big old front toe curl. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Is that what those are called? Is there an official name for those?
Curly toe.
There is. It's escaping me right now. My coffee hasn't set in, but there is definitely. But yeah.
All right. Before we get to PRs and no reps, we want to share our dog of the week. And our dog of the week is this guy, Slash.
Oh, I love him.
Look at Slash. What an adorable pup. 4-year-old male. He's a couch potato. Super friendly. He's kennel trained, cat friendly. So that's big. House trained, dog friendly, kid friendly. So it sounds like the ideal dog for you and your family. This was a post for at Suze Williams 14, who jumped at the opportunity to assist when a local rescue in her area flooded and needed help. So the location where Slash is Savannah, Georgia, at Renegade Paws Rescue. So at Renegade Paws Rescue. If Slash looks like a fit for you, please reach out to Renegade's Paw Rescue or get a hold of Barbells for Bullies. They can sometimes facilitate out-of-area adoptions. Alex and Lindsay are awesome people who do great work helping build awareness and rescue dogs. Slash enjoys long naps on the couch, being around all his fosters.
Me too.
Yeah, who doesn't? Slash. It just Slash sounds like my spirit animal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And there he is, hanging out, having a drink.
Oh boy.
So there you go. And listen, if you guys know of any local shelters in your area or a dog that needs help getting adopted, let us know, because during our dog days of summer, and I'm guessing this is going to extend beyond that, because
these need to be dog days for life.
Yeah, dog days for life, just to help dogs get adopted.
I love these segments.
Send them to us. We've actually had a couple people do that. We've been able to get them on here. So help Slash get adopted at Renegades Paw Rescue on Instagram, at Barbells for Bullies on Instagram. Hit them up, send them a message, let them know you're interested in maybe adopting one of these dogs, and let's get them into their forever homes, because these are great animals that deserve a loving, caring home. All right. So thanks to Barbells for Bullies for continuing to do that. All right, let's talk. Do we got any PRs and no reps, Tommy? You have a specific one. So
all right. So
let me sit back.
I got a no rep. I'm gonna no rep high school Spanish classes.
Oh no.
Because
come on now.
I'm gonna go specific.
Notre Dame High School. You're called out. You didn't teach me
Notre
nothing.
Dame High School Spanish classes. So let's we're in Texas, right? It should be no surprise that mi gente is in no short supply here.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking for dinner last night. And I'll preface this by saying Lauren picked out a banger of a taco spot.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's what matters.
This place was in the cut, right? She was by far the lightest person there. And it was $1 taco specials for Al Pastor.
Oh.
And
yes.
yep. And And they were open late.
And when we pulled in, I was a little nervous because like all the lights on the signs were out and it looked a little
That's when
sketchy.
you know you're getting good. That's when you know
but
you're getting good food. You've
worth
never
it.
left all night, but you're closing early tonight after old Tommy Marquez gets done.
Oh yeah. But we're driving there,
I gotta move my microphone.
and she goes, I'm looking for this place. What is it? Taqueria? Taqueria? And she's and I look and I thought Sean, I kid you not, I thought she was mocking me. I thought it was a joke and that she understood what she was saying. And I'm like, what are you saying? And then I realized it was serious. And I called Irv, our fellow Mexican correspondent, immediately FaceTimed him. He crapped his pants. And yeah, it was she couldn't pronounce Taqueria, and
Spelling.
it was
hard.
She was like, "Oh, that's what that word is." I felt like, in The Sandlot, baby Ruthie. Oh my God, you mean that's the same guy?
It
Like,
was
Lord.
not a highlight moment for me.
And
The look on Tommy's face when he realized I was serious.
and the name of the place was Tacos Los Irresistibles, and she couldn't even get the first syllable out, right? Like it was
Irresistible.
it was tacos. Yeah, you're gonna have to read this.
Well, listen, I had a similar experience with Tommy. There's a local Mexican food place near me, and I'm like, yeah, we went to this really good place. It was called Andale. And Tom's like,
Oh,
you mean Andale? I was like, yes, that too.
God.
Tell me you're white with no brown friends except for Tommy and Irv.
Someone in my immediate circle one time was talking to her Hispanic friend about this this person named Jaquin. And she's like, and the other person's like, what? Who? She goes, Jaquin, shows her the name, and she goes, oh, you mean Joaquin?
Oh. Sean, these are the people that go, mas chips, por favor.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Smile like that really got something. Yeah.
Gracias.
I took French. All right. I didn't take Spanish. So
That's fair. That's fair. I'm done.
Still, I
took Spanish, but I was passing notes during Spanish class.
Clearly.
You're going to sneak out of your house. Yeah,
That was my no rep.
I felt like such an idiot with that. Andale. Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That one is a little bit more.
I mean, I was close.
You were close, and it's a little bit less frequent of a usage. It's taqueria. Wait, did you just mispronounce it?
I did. No, I just screwed it up too. Taqueria.
Taqueria.
Please, it burns.
It's like nails on a chalkboard for Tommy right now.
Oh, my grandma
Let's all practice together.
rolled over in her grave.
You have to roll the R on that. Taqueria.
Taqueria. Taqueria.
You don't have to roll it long. It can just be snappy, but
Taqueria.
Oh,
God, see, there's something. Our people aren't equipped for this. All right.
Oh,
that's good. I'll know rep myself right there. Yeah. So I've
howdy.
It's okay. Yeah. Howdy.
Howdy.
Well, let's saddle up, gang.
Oh.
All right. Well, yeah.
That was my no rep. Oh, now I've got
a no rep for life right there. So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna no rep myself, but then I actually want to PR Tommy. So even though he's no repping me, I'm gonna give him a PR because let me tell you, he is such a good hype man. And if you ever have the opportunity to be coached by Tommy, like he's a cheerleader, but not the annoying cheerleader. He's a helpful cheerleader, giving you good cues. When I was doing the run, what did you tell me? Bring your knees up.
Yeah. So her back into the run, legs start to get heavy. It was just kind of and you want to finish strong and have that kick. Mm-hmm. Just giving her a little cue. Like for me, it's easier to think about like shortening the lever that you have to pull on to try and sprint, right?
Yeah.
If you're thinking about, I got to drag my foot all the way up to sprint and open up my stride. So I just told her like, drive your knees up. That'll help you. Usually for most people that I'm coaching when they run.
I haven't run since February.
I
Right.
mean, I didn't want to, Sean. I wanted to do the clean ladder. I didn't want
I
to do
need
the
to. I couldn't. I can't. Like I just, and so I'm hoping. I actually miss being able to run. Like I want to be able to run and do workouts. I'm tired of
Yeah,
so
it was kind of
like I want to get back into it. Hopefully
Are you
me,
sick?
no, it's
Are
morning.
you feeling okay?
Yeah, why?
You just
because he
said
said
you
he wants
miss.
to run.
I don't think
No,
I've
I
ever
know, right? Like
I've never
that's-
heard you say that.
exactly because I'm tired of modifying things. Like I want to be able to run again because it's better fitness wise for me than just hopping on the bike.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I feel way more
Me.
fit when I'm consistently running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, when I can run, that's something I need to work on. So I think
Yeah.
the
Same.
swelling has gone down significantly. The knees feeling
Good.
better. I've been able to walk a lot. So yeah, so we're getting there. Just
Progress.
don't want to do anything dumb. I told myself 2 weeks, period. 2 weeks before you do anything.
Yeah.
Even think
Smart man.
Yeah.
Trying to be-
It'll benefit you in the
be
long
smart.
run. I do have a PR.
Okay.
I'm going to PR Friday Night Lights preemptively.
Okay.
So this is kind of touching on what we were teasing earlier. So we went and we were there right at the time it was going to start. Sun setting, the atmosphere is beautiful. And even just as I was running the track, envisioning what it was going to feel like, Sean, football player as well, there's like this visceral reaction to stepping on the field on a
Oh,
Friday
yeah.
evening.
Mm.
And even the stadium is much cooler than you would like the average high school football stadium.
I would agree with
It's
that.
Texas.
Yeah, we showed
Yeah.
up. We're like, oh, this is it's
And the lights weren't even on for us. So once the lights are on and I really hope the stadium is packed.
yeah. It's
It was cool.
it's just gonna look super cool, and the way the sunsets have been here, 8 p.m. ish,
Beautiful.
the visuals are gonna look great. So
Cool.
all I could think of is just like I can't wait to see the athletes sell out here.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Man, you mentioned that Friday. I think I would give anything to go back and just play one more game. Like with that body as a kid, I just one more time because I took that experience for granted. It was so fun.
Yeah.
High school football was awesome. Okay, that's gonna do it. Lauren and I are gonna go work on our Spanish.
What was that like reading thing that
What?
you could buy it for other languages? I remember the commercial like
Oh yeah.
Rosa Stone, Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone.
Okay, I'm just not gonna talk anymore today. I'm digging my grave.
Rosetta Stone, yes. We'll both get that and work on that. So
We'll
one more time, Tommy. Taqueria.
Better.
Taqueria.
That was much
Ooh!
better.
Very nice.
Quick learner.
Progress is already being made. All right, everybody. Again, we're going to have a lot of coverage throughout the week. Instagram, YouTube, podcasts. It's all going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoy the competition and we got a lot of exciting moments. Really looking forward to seeing how some of these events play out and also looking forward, obviously, to seeing what the other events are going to be.
Hey.
It's going to be a great time. All right. For Tommy and Lauren, I'm Sean. Thanks to our sponsors, Garmin and Thirdsy. Please check them out. Really appreciate their support. Have fun watching the 2024 CrossFit Games, everybody. Take care of each other, be better, and enjoy your local taqueria. See you next time, everybody.
I'm dead inside.